May I request Dr. Uohna Thiessen to deliver her keynote session on Transforming Engineering Education, the role of AI in shaping future engineers.
Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Namaste. I am so happy to be here. I'm hoping my IT guy got everything organized. My IT guy, I mean my husband. But yeah, I am just so thrilled. I've been having such a great time. And first, I must say, I know I only have 15 minutes, and Dr. Krishna is going to start ringing that bell anytime soon. But I have to say thank you to Dr. Sushma. She was the one who met me in Mexico, and she said to me, "I will invite you to India." Many people said to me, "I will invite you here, there, everywhere," right? But she said it and she meant it, because she soon spoke with Dr. Krishna, and he got sent me a message. We connected on Zoom, and here I am. And even though this is like a working conference for me, I am having so much fun. You cannot believe. I went to Golconda Fort. I climbed up 400 steps. Then I went to Chola Palace, Shah Palace, and then I went. And, oh, I took some pictures there. Honey, you have to give them the picture. They can show it on the slide. They have to see this picture. And then I went to Charminar. Thank God that Dr. Krishna's wife was there. Otherwise, Bill, where is Bill? We would not have made it out of there. But so I'm just really grateful to all of you for being here, and I hope this is not my last time in India, please. So I wanted to talk with you now. I had to try to condense my 1 hour talk into 15 minutes. So let's see how it goes. Of course, we will continue in the breakout session. But what I wanted to do is to kind of give you a big picture, and then hopefully you can find your own, I will lead you to the tree or to the water, and you can drink as much as you want as far as AI is concerned, right? So no, you can't look on my email while it's being shown. It's in the WhatsApp group. All right. Yeah. So what I want to talk to you, what I hope to do is for 5 minutes or less, talk about AI in general. Then for the next 5 minutes, give you some insight about how it's being applied in education. And then for the last 5 minutes, we speak specific of, engineering education. So we're going to start with, what is AI? I mean, it's a talk all over, right? So from the technical side to the non-technical side to the engineering to the software people to everyone, they have their definition of what AI is. But for me, my background is statistics. My PhD is in statistics, and so that's how I came into this field, because we all know that machine learning is just glorified statistics, right? And so having that background in quantitative analysis, and you're going to see having the expertise in understanding how to use data to extract insight became key. And I don't see my slides, but that's okay. Became key because that's what AI is all about. Artificial intelligence is simply various methods, various techniques, is the whole discipline of getting machines to mimic intelligence. Machine mimicking intelligence. Oh, yes. I just love this picture. Oh my God, it's all over my social media right now, and it's going viral in my mind, I think, anyhow. So yes, let's get back to my slide, please. Thank you so much. So AI is all about machines mimicking intelligence, and it cannot happen without the data. So there are many manifestations of artificial intelligence, right? We have machine learning, we have deep learning, we have computer vision, we have expert systems. We have all of these different ways that we are trying to get the machines in our around us to behave as if they are humans, as if they are intelligence. And so that is what we do. Am I not supposed to advance it? Okay. So there is machine mimic intelligence. So next slide, please. Right, and these are some of the behaviors that we get from the machine when they are considered artificial intelligence. They can learn, they can perceive, they can speak, they can reason to some extent, right? And so, Dr. Krishna was talking about we are teaching, are they learning? And then he also talked about, one of the problem was that for most of us as educators, we're never really taught how to teach. You get a PhD and they put you in front of a classroom, and so just as we are endeavoring to teach machines how to exhibit behaviors that are human-like, they are machine learning. We can be teacher learning. We can learn from the data, from the experiences, right? And so that's what we are endeavoring to do. So that's kind of the big picture of what AI is all about. And so now we can use AI more specifically, more strategically. Next slide, please, to help us understand how we can perform better, how we can be better teachers and deliver our, information more effectively. And so this is the framework of how this happens, right? So of all the different manifestations of artificial intelligence, machine learning, of course, is the most common. It's the most popular one. It's the one that everybody talks about. And so that's why sometimes people think that machine learning is artificial intelligence. But machine learning is just one facet of it. It is the most common. But what happens is you have data. You take the data and you process, you analyze the data to build a model of that data, a representation of the hierarchy in the data. And that's what is the algorithm. But that processing of the data is usually the statistical analysis, right? All of those techniques of mathematics, right? So help us build these algorithms that look like, that represent the relationship between the information in the data. And so that algorithm then now is used to make predictions, right? Probabilities. We have certain events or features, and then we can, with some level of certainty or accuracy, make predictions about what it is because of the data. So we can either do a classification type of prediction, where we can say it belongs to this group, or it looks like this, it's a dog, it's a cat, or it's this segment of the consumer base, or that you have risk of disease or not. Those are the classification. And then we have the more of the type of regression type of predictions, where we can make predictions of what would be the price of this house, or the stock market price, or those kinds of predictions are all based on the model that we have built on the data that we have processed. So that's machine learning in general. And so when it comes to AI, as educators, even in the field, we have a ton of data, and AI is how we're going to be able to extract the insight from that data and use the data to optimize our performance, right? We're not machines, but we can be optimized in a similar way. So the insight of the model, the framework that we have been using can be applied to ourselves, right? Because we are thinking about artificial intelligence. So they made these algorithms, and then the neural networks, which are supposed to resemble what's happening in our brains. But it's just a mere simulation. It doesn't even come close to the real thing. So AI is only very, very tiny manifestation of human intelligence. And that's why, as Dr. I forgot his name. No, who I was in his lecture this morning from IIT Europa. Yes, right? So he was talking about the fact that we are far away from AGI. That's really up there, and we are still very far in the slope, and it's almost leveling off. So we're a long way of getting to that, but we still can have a great benefit from the AI that we have thus far. Next slide, please. Right, and just to give you a basic examples of some of the algorithms. We have the supervised learning, where we have labeled data, so we can use that to make predictions. We have the unsupervised learning, which is unlabeled data, and most of the data that exists in our world is of that type, unsupervised, unstructured. All of the images and the sound and everything that's not in a tabular form is considered the unsupervised data. And then we have the reinforcement learning. So we use the reinforcement learning in self-driving cars. The unsupervised is for like customer segmentation. And of course, the supervised for making predictions about price or what the images, that kind of stuff. Next slide, please. And of course, I have to mention Dr. Andrew Ng. Who knows who Dr. Andrew Ng is here? Who is he? The machine learning guy, yes. He's the founder, one of the founders of Coursera, and he's the premier expert, in the US and probably in the world when it comes to AI and everything related into that sphere. He's founded Coursera, he now left, he found his own, another company, Deep Learning. Now he's head of Gen AI at Amazon. He's taken on that role but he is the one that stresses data-centric AI. And that's something that I know a lot of the software engineers may not adhere to, right? Because my husband is a software engineer, and we have these discussions all the time about how software engineers love to just throw processing at a problem. If they can't solve it, more processing, and just give it as much processing power as you can. And so the thing with Dr. Ng is stressing that when we are optimizing our systems, instead of focusing on the code or on the algorithm, it's maybe time to look at the data, because it's the quality of the data that is going to depend. And even now in the world of large language models, they were going to the max with the size, from 150 billion parameters to 300 billion parameters. And they thought every time you want to get a little bit improvement, just make a bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger model. But that's not sustainable. And so now they're realizing, maybe if we had better quality data, we didn't need so many parameters, and we can actually get a better performance out of the model. So there is a bit of a shift. So these are some of the things that you, as as in the engineering field, start thinking about. So you do have amazing algorithms and amazing processing and computing power, but now you need to start thinking about data-centric algorithms, data-centric optimization. And that's something where those of us who are in the quantitative statistical analysis field can be of benefit, right? So I know there's my fellow colleague here. She's a statistics professor as well. I don't see her right now. But that's the kind of collaboration that is needing to happen. You need to start thinking about data. If you want to improve something, you want to implement something, you want to integrate something with, as far as AI is concerned, first you need to think, do I have the data? If you don't have the data, you need to go get it. Right? Next slide, please. Right, and so when it comes to artificial intelligence, like I said, it's about making machines behave as if they are human. So there are two main categories of artificial intelligence. There is the discriminative AI and there's the generative AI, right? So everybody is now all hyped about generative AI. Now you can generate words and images and sound and video. But that's not the only AI. We have the discriminative AI, right? We still can use AI for prediction, for insight, for data-driven decision making. And especially in the area of engineering and engineering education, we want to be able to make predictions about what are some of the solutions to the problems in our society. And for that, we do have the data. So we need to process and analyze and grab the insight of that data before we start thinking about building the systems and the applications. So we can have a much more streamlined type of approach to our engineering if we start from the data-centric and we incorporate both the descriptive and the generative. Last slide. What is my last slide? I don't even know. Okay, skip that. Skip. Yeah, go back to the one with the, yeah, right here. So I wanted to emphasize that when you're thinking about AI and implementing AI in engineering education, you need to start thinking in the levels, right? So you need to start, from a big picture perspective. Don't just try to put AI here, there, and everywhere, willy-nilly. Think about the entire system, a systematic approach. What is the short-term goals that I can have? What are some of the medium-term goals? And what are some of the long-term goals? And I will share this slide. Next slide, please, with all of you, right? So because I've outlined some very specific things that you as engineering educators can do far as the level 1 AI implementation, level 2, level 3. So you start with basic things like grading tools. Dr. Bill talked about the papers and publishing, and immediately my mind thought, you need to build a system, whether it's a chatbot or a conversational AI, that will help you to process and assess the quality of the papers that you are producing. As educators, we make AIs that are like mentors, that are advisors. So in the business world, we have AI mentors. You give information and it tells you if this is a good idea or not, the project or not, to give you some feedback. You can have build an AI that is like an editor of one of these magazines, right? You feed the information, and so when you have your paper, you give it to this AI, and it will edit the paper for you before you send it in to the real editor. So there are lots of opportunities, but the bell has rung, and I'll see you in the breakout session. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, ma'am. We would like to thank our esteemed guests for delivering insightful and inspiring keynote sessions. Your valuable perspectives and expertise have truly enriched us.